There is a certain kind of silence that only exists after midnight, the kind where the world finally slows down, the notifications stop, the conversations end, the laughter you heard all day disappears, and all that is left is you. You lie there with your thoughts. You tell yourself you're just trying to fall asleep. But that's not really what's happening. You're remembering, you're wondering, you're asking questions you never ask when the sun is up. Why does everyone else seem to find love so easily? Why does it always feel like I'm standing outside of something everyone else was invited into? You don't usually say those words out loud. You keep them hidden. You smile when your friends talk about their relationships. You congratulate people when they announce they're dating someone. You laugh at their stories. You mean it too. You're happy for them. But happiness for someone else doesn't erase the quiet ache inside you, because after everyone goes home, after the phone goes silent, after another ordinary day ends, you're left with the same empty feeling. The feeling that somehow you've been forgotten. You start wondering if anyone notices how quiet you've become, if anyone sees how much effort it takes just to pretend you're okay. People think loneliness means having nobody around. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes loneliness is sitting in a room full of people and feeling like nobody really knows you. Sometimes it's watching everyone move forward while your own life feels frozen. You begin to notice things you never paid attention to before. Couples walking together, hands reaching for each other. Messages that begin with, "Good morning," phone calls that end with, "I love you." Tiny moments, ordinary moments, the kind most people barely notice. But when you don't have them, they suddenly feel like everything. You don't want someone because you're desperate. You want someone because you're human. You want to know what it feels like to belong somewhere, to feel safe with another person, to stop wondering whether you'll always be watching love happen to everyone except you. Then the comparisons begin. They happen quietly, almost without permission. You see someone your age getting engaged, someone else celebrating an anniversary, another person posting pictures with someone who looks at them like they're the only person in the room. You tell yourself not to compare, but your mind does it anyway. Maybe they're more attractive, maybe they're more confident, maybe they're easier to love. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe something is wrong with me. Those thoughts don't arrive all at once. They grow slowly, one lonely night at a time, one disappointment at a time, one unanswered message at a time. Eventually, they stop sounding like fears. They start sounding like facts. You convince yourself that if love hasn't happened yet, maybe it never will. That is what loneliness does. It doesn't simply make you miss people. It changes the way you see yourself. It whispers things that sound believable. It tells you that being alone means you're unwanted. That being single means you're somehow behind, that if nobody has chosen you yet, maybe nobody ever will. Those thoughts feel real, very real, but feeling something deeply does not automatically make it true. That's one of the hardest lessons I've ever had to learn. Our emotions can become convincing storytellers, especially at 2 in the morning, especially when the room is dark, especially when your heart is tired. You begin searching through your memories, every person who left, every conversation that slowly faded, every almost relationship, every time someone said they weren't ready. You replay every ending, looking for evidence, trying to figure out where you went wrong. Maybe if I had said less, maybe if I had been funnier, maybe if I had looked different, maybe if I hadn't cared so much. You keep rewriting old stories, hoping they'll finally end differently. But they never do, because the past doesn't change. Only the way you carry it does. Sometimes the person who didn't choose you wasn't rejecting your worth. They simply weren't your person. Those two things are not the same. But loneliness struggles to tell the difference. It treats every goodbye like proof that you're too much or not enough. Proof that something inside you needs fixing before anyone could possibly love you. Eventually, you stop trusting your own heart. You become careful. You stop saying how you feel. You stop hoping too much. You stop expecting anyone to stay, because disappointment starts feeling more familiar than hope. There's a strange contradiction in all of this. You want connection, but after enough hurt, you also become afraid of it. You want someone close, but you're terrified they'll leave once they truly know you. So you protect yourself. You convince yourself you're okay alone, sometimes you even believe it, until another quiet night arrives, until another wedding invitation appears, until another friend tells you they met someone. Then the ache returns, not because you're jealous, because you're grieving something you've never had. People rarely talk about that kind of grief. How do you mourn experiences you've never lived? How do you explain missing a relationship that doesn't exist? How do you describe feeling homesick for a place you've never been? Maybe that's why loneliness feels so confusing. You're not only missing another person, you're missing a version of life you've imagined for years. Someone to call after a difficult day. Someone who remembers your favorite song. Someone who notices when your smile isn't real. Someone who chooses you without making you wonder where you stand. That isn't asking for too much. It's asking for something deeply human, Sometimes I think the hardest part isn't being alone. It's believing that your life hasn't started because you're alone. It's waiting for happiness to begin after someone finally arrives. It's postponing your own life until love gives you permission to live it. I understand that feeling. I really do. There were nights when I believed my future depended entirely on whether someone loved me, as if another person's choice could determine my value, as if their attention could create something inside me that wasn't already there. It doesn't work that way. Love can reveal your worth. It cannot create it. Your worth existed long before anyone noticed it, long before someone held your hand, long before someone said they loved you, long before someone left. The difficult part is believing that when you don't feel it, because feelings are powerful. Feelings can convince you that temporary loneliness is permanent. Feelings can convince you that silence means rejection. Feelings can convince you that waiting means failure. But feelings are not facts. They deserve compassion, not blind trust. You can feel invisible and still matter deeply. You can feel forgotten and still be unforgettable to the people who truly know you. You can feel unlovable while being completely worthy of love. Those things can exist at the same time. Being alone is a circumstance. It is not an identity. It is not a personality. It is not your future. There is a difference between not having love today and never finding love at all. Loneliness often erases that difference. It speaks in absolutes. Always, never, forever. But life rarely works in absolutes. People enter your life unexpectedly. Connections happen at strange times. The future has a way of surprising us. Not always, not perfectly, but often enough that hope remains honest. Wanting love doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you needy. It doesn't mean you failed at being independent. Human beings are built for connection. We are meant to know each other, to comfort each other, to witness each other's lives. There is no shame in wanting that. The goal isn't to stop wanting love. The goal is to stop believing that love is the only thing that can make your life meaningful. There is an important difference. One leaves room for peace. The other leaves you waiting forever. Maybe right now your heart feels full of affection with nowhere to place it. You imagine conversations you'll never have, trips you'll never take, moments you'll never share. That love has nowhere to go, or at least that's how it feels. But love doesn't only move outward. Some of it needs to come back home. Back to the person who has been carrying everyone else's expectations. Back to the person who keeps apologizing for existing. Back to the person who keeps asking whether they're enough. You deserve some of the kindness you've been saving for someone else. Not because you've given up on finding love, because you'll need yourself regardless of when love arrives. You deserve mornings that aren't measured by whether someone texted you. You deserve evenings that don't end with judging your reflection. You deserve a life that continues growing even while your heart is waiting. That doesn't mean pretending loneliness feels good. It doesn't. Some nights will still hurt. Some nights will still feel unbearably quiet. You'll still wonder. You'll still hope. You'll still miss people who never became yours. Healing doesn't erase those feelings. Healing changes your relationship with them. Instead of believing every painful thought, you learn to observe it. Instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" you slowly begin asking, "Is this fear telling me the truth?" Sometimes the answer will be no. Sometimes you'll need to remind yourself more than once, maybe every day. That is okay. Healing is rarely dramatic. Most of the time, it is quiet. It is choosing not to chase someone who keeps walking away. It is deciding not to measure your worth by who texts first. It is learning that peace feels better than constant uncertainty. It is allowing yourself to rest. One day you may meet someone who sees you clearly. Someone who doesn't make you question whether you matter. Someone who doesn't make love feel like a competition you have to win. I hope that happens. I truly do. But until then, please don't abandon yourself while waiting for someone else to arrive. Don't become a stranger to your own life. Don't postpone your joy. Don't believe the lie that everyone else is moving forward while you've been left behind. Your story is still unfolding, quietly, patiently, even now, especially now. Tonight, if you're lying awake wondering why everyone else seems to have found love except you, I hope you remember this. You are not late. You are not broken. You are not invisible simply because the right person hasn't seen you yet. You are a human being carrying a heart that still believes connection is possible. That is not weakness. That is courage. Keep protecting that part of yourself. Keep becoming someone you feel safe with. Keep treating yourself with the same tenderness you're hoping to receive one day. Because when love finally enters your life, it should not rescue you from yourself. It should simply meet the person you've already learned to become. Someone who knows their worth, someone who has made peace with waiting, someone who understands that love is beautiful, but it was never meant to be the thing that proves you deserve to exist.